I just got the
Year.
tickets
I
fresh.
did.
Okay.
Somebody said it'll be after the new year. I'm like, oh my
Okay.
God, that's so far
I
away.
know.
And now it's like,
Right, yeah.
so things
Good evening, everyone. Call the Prince William-Manassas Regional Adult Detention Center Jail Board meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Mr. Kostelowski?
Here.
Mr. Austin is absent this evening. Reverend Bailey?
Here.
Ms. Clymer?
Here.
Ms. Guzman is not present. Sheriff Hill?
Here.
Chief Keen?
Here.
Ms. Lennox is not here at the moment. Chief Newsom?
Yeah.
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Torres?
Yes. Here.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you everyone for coming. Hopefully we can have a quick meeting tonight. I know we have some inclement weather coming, so I know everyone wants to probably get out and get home before for the weather hits. I think we have public comments. I think we have one, Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Could you read the question and go ahead and respond to the one public comment
Sure.
that we have?
First question is, when will religious services again be permitted in the modular building? When is the next orientation session? Our individual in-person pastoral visits permitted for Maine and Mott. One thing, board members, and I will go into deeper depth when I review our plan for COVID. It's a 30-day plan, and we'll reassess it as we go along. But we've had tremendous spikes in COVID. I sent you that one email, and certainly as we go through that, our plan will enlighten you all. We have had somewhat of a turn down a little bit, but it's too early to get excited about it yet. So first of all, we did close down the mod so we can move some staff over here. We only had about 60 inmates in the mod, and we decided to go based on our staffing numbers, vacancies, and COVID numbers. We had to do that to support the security shifts. But we'll go into that as we go along. So we're not doing any programs at this time until we get a handle on it over the next several weeks to maybe a month. Certainly, they come in non-contact, that's for sure. But I'm not sure when the next orientation session is going to be scheduled, most likely around March. In-person pastoral visits we're not able to do, so we stopped all contact visits. The question on confession needs to be done in person. I've talked to the chaplain about this, and it is the practice here that if any inmates want to have confession and so forth, and they have to bring up the request to the chaplain here, and he'll have that done. But we're not doing any contact visits now, certainly a non-contact. may be okay. I don't know. So that's where we are.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent concerning the comments? Yes, sir.
I have a question. Is it accurate that since March of 2020, Catholics have not been able to make a confession?
That's true. I talked to our chaplain today, and the inmates do have they have the right to send in a letter to the chaplain here that they would like to have confession, and then we'll set that up.
Okay, so I understand it's not being allowed now, but
Well, it could be allowed now, non-contact.
sure.
But
But as he notes in the letter, it has to be
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
In the future, should things get better, which we all hope they will, is that a possibility, or is there a strict policy against contact confession visits?
and once we open up again our programs, then that'll be fine. Once we open up our programs here, we have everything shut down,
All right, I understand.
unfortunately.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for the superintendent?
May I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Is there so it sounds like there's no differentiation between religious programs and other programs, or religious services and other programs?
That's correct.
And that's always been the case?
No. It's because we have the COVID numbers are so big and we'll go over those numbers, but they peaked very high about 3 weeks ago, and then also inmates too. So we've had to do this just for the safety of the staff and inmates and visitors and so forth.
Yes, Chief?
So, Superintendent, what I'm hearing is that because we have to report these numbers to the state health department, and when the numbers are rising, we also have to submit a mitigation plan. So these restrictions or tightening of the restrictions is your mitigation plan that you're sending into the state.
Yeah, and we'll go over.
Trying to reduce those numbers,
Yeah.
right?
And we'll go over that shortly. Yes.
All right, thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda for January the 29th to January the 19th?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
All right,
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting that we held on November the 17th, 2021?
So moved.
Second?
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Yeah, wait.
Yes, sir. All right, we'll move. All right, sir.
Just one correction. I believe I was late for that meeting. I know I was late for that meeting, but I was here.
It has it reflected on the bottom of the page.
Okay, I see. Got it now. Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Move right along. Superintendent?
Yeah, okay. Thanks for everybody coming on this cold evening. We can go over to page 17 first. Okay. Let me go down to the second section. You can see the first 6 months of our system-wide count here in the complex since July of 516. The next section gives you a snapshot for the last year from January to December of average of 544. Let's see. All right, and we're going down to the bottom, transfer to the state system. That was down in November. We only see 2 there, and a little bit of uptick in December of 16. Commitments, November 520 and December 478. Now the next 2 stats are going to seem kind of odd, and I questioned them today, and they went back and checked, and it's actually true. The releases of November and December were both the same of 517, and process only, those inmates not committed to the ADC, but our staff here does the police processing, is 69 and 69. So that's That was quite a coincidence. DOC out of compliant, we have 62 total. Those inmates sentenced to 3 years or more. All right, we go to page 18. Complex average daily population in November was up a little bit to 512. And the next page in December, average daily population of the complex was 480. Page 20, of course, shows our historical data all the way back to FY 1983 and FY 22, first 6 months of 516. We can go to the objectives. Hiring has been pretty slow lately, application process. We're not seeing a whole lot of people applying. The county still does our advertisements on NeoGov. You see there's 67 vacant sworn staff and 8 vacant for a total of 75 vacancies. We did have one staff member leave this week to Loudon. She'd been here for 2 years, and her salary here was $53,000, and they're starting off her Loudon at $68,000 with a yearly $3,000 bonus, which gets her up to around $71,000. Pretty much starting off. Prison Rape Elimination Act, you see there. Our 3-year inspection will be in April 2023. Just a reminder, this act protects the inmates from sexual harassment and sexual assault. Our career development, 7 jail officers receive field training officer certification. These are our master jail officers who train the new officers for the first 2 months when they get here to get them on their way for the job. 4 staff completed general instructor development. These are our instructors who conduct the Jail Basic Academy and in-service. And thank you again, Chief, for allowing us to partner. 3 staff recertified as TASER instructors, and 3 sworn staff and 1 nurse graduated from crisis intervention training. We now have 99 ADC staff that are CIT trained. Captain DePoy again achieved her AJA certification for the 2nd time as a jail manager status. That's in her certificates in the back of the, I think it's in the back. There it is. The main jail repair project's going very well. We know it's been half complete for a while now, and potentially it could be complete by the end of February, early March. So we're looking forward to that. A lot of work done over there to include painting, new roof, upgrade showers. That's the original 1982 facility. Toilets, sinks, tables, bunks, light fixtures, painting, and a few other things. Evidence-based decision making includes identifying gaps in the system for substance use disorders, enhancing data process, and expansion of medicated assisted treatment. Currently have 29 inmates here at the jail receiving medicated assisted treatment for opioid users. All right. Oh, what's that? You can see on number 6 down there to the right, these were numbers, COVID numbers as of 1/13. 29 staff are COVID positive. Our current number on that is 20. and 27 staff quarantined due to exposure. That is now 21 to this date. 22 inmates are COVID-19 when this last week, and now it's down to 13, which is good also. So hopefully we're seeing a trend, hopefully. 70% ADC staff are fully vaccinated with 4 partially. So once those 4 partially get their next shot, then we can get that up to around 74%. During a recent increase and surge, at one time we had 36 staff positive and 27 out with exposure for 63 staff that were out at one time. So it's unfortunate, but we had to do a few things to make sure that the facilities were safe and secure. And these are the items that we did once these numbers got as high as they did. We stopped giving out any annual leave to be approved. That's new annual leave. And keep in mind, this will be relooked at after when we started from 30 days. The Jail Basic Academy was postponed for 30 days. The work release section will assist the security shifts when needed. Work release inmates will be shoveling snow and cleanup. We only had 8 over there at the time. Specialty positions here will assist security shifts. Inmate programs have been postponed. The ADC modular building is closed for foreseeable future. This helps us with our vacancy issue and also COVID issue. And all visits are non-contact. Let's see what else we got going here.
Yes, sir. Question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
You said 229 current inmates are fully vaccinated.
That's correct.
Are these vaccines provided within the adult detention?
Our medical staff does it here. Yes.
I have one question for you, Superintendent, concerning your contact visits. Is that for attorneys also?
That's correct.
All right.
That's correct.
Sure, can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Is there any path forward while this is happening to allowing contact visits with attorneys? Like, is there any combination of full vaccination plus booster plus negative test that could get, on a case-by-case basis, an attorney access to a client?
I'm not really in favor of that. Because keep in mind, we're bringing down inmates that they sit there with. And some people on our staff have been vaccinated and also caught the new COVID. And like I said,
No doubt. It is so contagious. I mean, I get it.
It goes quick.
And because our offices have all gone
Sure.
through this, right? If you have to go in and out of the courthouse, or you got to come in and out of here, you're going to expose yourself. The concern that I raised with one of your staff today was very good, conversation.
Mhm.
I understand the position of the jail, but I did want to bring it up here tonight. Is in this particular case, we were representing a gentleman charged with murder. The case has been mistried twice. He's been in this jail for a long time. The previous attorneys have withdrawn, which means we're now coming in as public defender. The guy doesn't know us, and having conversations over the phone and getting him to a place where he trusts us is incredibly difficult for this life offense. And I get that it would have to be incredibly rare, but is there a case-by-case process that we would do whatever the jail wanted us to do in order to make that contact with the client?
I understand, but in my position, I don't think we should, Tracy. Hopefully, if we saw a decrease in stats numbers today, hopefully we're going in that right direction, and we can get back to normalcy.
We're all hoping for that.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that hopefully, maybe even after the meeting, that we can get together and talk about it. We understand the seriousness of it, the contract, and see what we can do. One of the things that I know the superintendent, once you do it for one person, you just got to start doing it for another. But I think we can come to some kind of agreement that we can get something done, okay? All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Superintendent, I know we've talked about the difficulties competing with Loudon financially for employees, but those numbers that you just gave us are really surprising. The distance between the two numbers is even bigger than I thought it was, and it made me wonder, when is the last time there's been a class and compensation study performed for your employees in particular?
We were involved in the county class compensation, and we were moved up with some increases in salary and so forth. We can't compete with Loudon. I mean, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But our officers, when they leave here, 9 out of 10, they're going right to Loudon.
Is Loudon comparable to our sort of contiguous counties, or?
Well, they're sheriff-run jail. The advantage, obviously, for them to hire over there is they're taking well-trained people who are already certified by the state, and they can plug them right in. They don't have to send them to school. And they're working in the jail at Loudon, and they're given also the opportunity after a year or two to, go back to school and become a road deputy also.
Is the financial compensation in Loudon comparable to our neighboring jurisdictions, or are they an outlier in that respect?
I think they're pretty well above everyone else.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer.
I think they're pretty much above everyone else in Northern Virginia. Would you say that, Chief?
Yeah, I would say Chief Newsham and I are dealing with the same thing. Everybody east and north of us, the watermark changes, so every time we adjust to theirs, they go up by 5 or 10%. So it's a constant battle trying to stay competitive. So exactly what the superintendent said, we made adjustments. Comparable agencies just bumped theirs by $10,000 to $12,000 above us. So it makes it tough. So eventually, we're all going to have to settle somewhere. I'm not sure where that is, but it definitely makes it tough. Superintendent, I have a follow-up question to that, and I don't need the answer tonight, but for the future, as I'm having conversation with our elected leaders in the city over your struggles, I know I have the hard number of vacancies. Is it possible to get a percentage to go with that hard number in the future? Well, so what percentage is 67 of your total sworn staff?
Sure.
It may just make a difference of how I word things to try to help you out a little bit.
Okay. No problem.
And if I just want to add one other question, it doesn't need an answer tonight either, but I would be super interested in hearing what any of us that are institutional stakeholders could do to help the jail to reduce that vacancy rate as a member of the jail board also, but just as, from where I sit, your vacancies affect my agency in a dramatic way, and I would like to see you be able to move, to whatever I can do to help. What can we do to help? What would you like to see us do? And maybe you don't know tonight.
Well, one thing the board has done already was pass that $3,000 bonus. That could be approved from the county board, but that's one thing that I think may help some.
Let us know if there are things that we can be doing for you outside of these meetings to help move that along.
All right.
Any other questions for the superintendent? All right, superintendent, you continue?
Sure. Couple things, and I'll be done. We did do some promotions. Major Lambert left, and we had a very good, nice get-together in here, and she's retiring. And, she was a consultant for American Jail Association. So about a week after she left here, she ended up consulting in the D.C. jail over there because they've got issues we've seen on TV and so forth. So she was right back at it. So she's been keeping busy. Let's see. Major McMahon is here. Susan. She was promoted from captain on up to major, and how many years you been here now, Susan? 34 years, and she oversees the HR section, intake and release, and so forth, transportation and everything. She got a couple captains under her, so she's got a lot of work to do, but she'll do a great job. Bob Barker was promoted up to captain. First Sergeant Logan was promoted to lieutenant. Sergeant Connie Cothran to first sergeant, and Sergeants Chelsea James and Jeremy promoted up to sergeant. So very good people, and they work hard and certainly deserve it. Sheriff, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent concerning his report? All right, moving right along, we have budget update. Understand that Carol is not here tonight, but she's going to speak to us from her residence.
Carol?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So on the budget status for the commissary, the letter that should be in front of you, we are settling around $2.4 million balance in the commissary account. If you look at the budget status below, again, we are challenged with with halting inmate programs in spending those funds. So I expect this year will, like last year, will be a late spending year. We are providing payment to those contractors that are not able to come in through no fault of their own. So on the next page, the only thing I would note, well, our inmate trust account balance is down, but that's a reflection of the money of the inmates that are incarcerated currently. Our federal billings continue to be very low. They're just the people that get picked up and turn over to federal custody. We did submit for reimbursement to the state treasury for our phase 2 end work release on December 10th. Hopefully, I understand they had a meeting about that this past week, and we hope to hear something soon and see those funds soon. The county will be receiving about $21 million, and the ADC will be receiving $687,000 for the work release portion, which we funded out of the fund balance. In addition, in the budget process, we asked, along with the sheriff's office, for a resiliency position for public safety that will report through the fire and rescue department. We are going to be reclassing one of our vacancies to fulfill that position, in addition to a manager for our finance section. So those are the updates as far as the county budget goes. Does anyone have any questions? Or okay, on our expenditure budget status, again, nothing really to report. A lot of our expenditures are down due to the lower inmate count, and they will continue to stay that way, I would say, with our closing the mod. On the operating revenue, I would say right now, I anticipate that we will actually make our revenue. We did receive our reimbursement for the this month for the bonus that was paid to the sworn staff earlier, and that is in excess of $900,000. So that should probably make up our deficit at the end of the year. So we hope to actually make our expenditure budget, but it's because of the bonus. Manassas participation was at 11.6% in both November and December, so we are at 12.3% for the year. And that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Any questions for Carol? All right, Carol, thank you, and I hope all is well for you and your family.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Next item on the budget is the jail board members' comments. We're moving right along. So I'm going to start out with I'll start with you, Tracy.
Boy, I'm drawing a blank. I'm trying to think today, but I don't know what they are. It's been super busy, and COVID has had an impact on our office, just like it has on everybody in the county. We're just plugging along.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Chief?
Oh, just congratulations to your new major. 34 years of service. Well-deserved promotion. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. All right. Reverend Bailey,
Glad I could make it on time today.
thank you.
You're welcome. Really don't have anything except, Superintendent, you guys just continue to do a great job. And I just want to piggyback on something that Tracy said earlier. I know that we did the action to provide, a pathway to bonus. But I am very concerned that our joint law enforcement community within our community here is properly compensated. And so, again, anything that we can come up with that's innovative, new, or what have you, let us know so that we can take proper action here and, maybe do advocacy even external to this board.
Appreciate it. One thing I need to mention is the dedicated staff here, and that's, the sheriff set this up years ago, and we follow his lead. Every day, right now, we have officers in these quarantine pods. The inmates are positive, and inmates are in there for their 2 weeks when they come in to make sure they're not positive. And they take them out for showers. They have their cells cleaned. They're in contact with them every day. They have all the protective equipment they need, but that's tough. And they do a great job. No complaining, no whining, and they get it done every day. In my opinion, I thought they probably could have made a nice Valor Award, but we'll think about that next year.
And Reverend Bailey, I will tell you that I was talking to a sheriff in another part of Virginia last week, and he was actually happening working his dispatch center because he said just can't hire people. He said people are not applying in law enforcement like they used to. I think we're all seeing that. One of the things I know that I'm gonna try to do next year is have a cadet program and start working with young people in the community and get them interested in what we do. And I know Chief is probably going to be doing the same thing, and you'll be doing the same thing. And hopefully we can all get together and try to attract young people to get into law enforcement. Well, we're experiencing that all over the country. And then again, I know money is important, but then again, even some people we're just not being able to get young people. So hopefully in the next few years we can get more people, young people interested in law enforcement.
If I may, as I understand how, and we're using Loudon as a comparison because apparently we got some points there, it appears to me, or it sounds to me, that the totality of the job in Loudon is different from here because it's primarily because it's a sheriff-run facility. Am I understanding that properly?
Well, the ones that work inside the jail, they do what our staff does here.
But the difference I hear is that they have opportunity to do other things as well, right?
Well, once they want to become a road deputy, then they have to go back to the academy for some more training because we don't do that training here.
Yeah. Okay.
But
all right, thanks for that clarification. Got it. Okay.
All right, any comments from? I know you have some ideas about how we can recruit more people into law enforcement and get them interested in.
You're looking right at me, Sheriff. Make me reveal my secrets.
We need to know.
Well, one of the things that I was going to talk to the superintendent afterwards that we just started doing, and we're getting some positive results, is we took an ad out on Facebook, of all things, to target the Puerto Rico population in Puerto Rico, and that number of, I guess they call it hits, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but the number of hits and interest we're getting back of Puerto Rico residents that are wanting to come to the main states is quite high. That may be something you want to look at. Piggyback what they said, it's a tough profession. No one can hire in any business right now, right? We hear about staff shortages, and in our field, it's even harder. I think it's even tougher in the jail than it is for us, because you're in that confined area and you know where you're at.
And I think
Hopefully we get out of it.
COVID may have something to do with it too, what's going on, when they see.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on what the sheriff said about the cadet program. I think that's really a sweet spot for getting young people involved in law enforcement. Because after kids get out of high school, if they're inclined, if they have any inclination into getting into this line of work, sometime between the age of 18 and the age of 21, they may lose that. And life may require that whatever profession they fall into in that 3-year time frame may require, as their life goes on, that they stay in that profession and they can't change back into law enforcement. So to be able to fill that gap with a cadet program where they can come in, they can earn a living, potentially go to school during that time frame as well, and then they can matriculate into becoming police officers, I think is a good way. That way we can go out to our high schools, we can partner up with the Prince William County school system and get some of the young kids who are interested in doing this work to matriculate into law enforcement.
It occurs to me as I sit here and I look at the four of you guys who are in uniform down there, I don't think that in my tenure as president in ACT, any of you have been invited to address our youth division, have you? Okay, I'm going to fix that.
And the chief is right about that age between 18 and 21.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happens in our profession is we're held to a higher standard. There's not many professions when you come in, you go through a background investigation, psychological, polygraph, and all of those things, all the tests that we go through. So we're held to a higher standard, and sometimes we lose people before they get, at the age of 21 and 22. So the more we can do to keep them focused on staying on track, I think that, hopefully that'll help us some. That will. Yeah. And then again, I've been in the business a long time, and I see people now don't like working nights, weekends, and holidays. I mean, when we came along, that wasn't a big deal, but nowadays a lot of people like that free time off and different time. It's very difficult now, even with us now, to get people to work overtime. I mean, people like their time off. I mean, it's a different culture now, and we're going to try to have to adjust to it and make it so. Yeah.
There's truth to that.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you. Good discussion. Move right along. Reverend Betty, were you finished?
I was done.
All right. Ms. Smith.
Well, congratulations to the major. I'm really happy to hear that an internal person, especially someone who's been here so long, is going to be filling those shoes. There's some big shoes to fill. But I hope we'll see you on the evidence-based decision-making team. We still have a lot of work to do. And for Superintendent Miletus, I know you've taken heat in this room before for vacancies on your staff, and I think I have a somewhat unique view of your staffing because I swear in all of your new hires.
I appreciate that too.
And I swear them in every single week, and it's never just one. So I know that you're hiring, you're recruiting. You must have somebody whose semi-full-time job is recruiting, and I commend you for continuing to do that, particularly in this difficult time. And the difference in pay is shocking. And if there is anything I can do to help, I'm happy to do that. I don't know. It sounds like you have a lot of support on the board in that regard. And if you want us to all sit down and try to hammer something out, I'm happy to do anything that I can.
Yeah. And I don't have nothing against Loudoun County, but
I do. They steal my clerks.
Okay. Yeah. Once the word is out about the pay, then it's like wildfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once that word gets out, because they go over there, they go to work, and they call their buddies back here, and But we'll see how it works out. Appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Everybody.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Lerman.
Congratulations, Major, on your promotion, and I'd just like to echo what others have said, appreciating the jail staff for keeping everyone safe and taking care of the inmates during such a difficult time. I mean, what you described with the quarantine area is what I would call a thankless job that no one outside of here is probably thinking about too much, and that's definitely appreciated, and I hope that we all hope that things will get much better soon, not soon enough.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Rowe?
Not really much to add except congratulate the mayor on her promotion. Congratulate Colonel in the way that he's handling the jail and managing the jail. You're doing a great job, and we've always recognized that. And if we can help you improve anything, we certainly would at this place try to help you out. That's why we're here. Other than that, recruitment and retaining is difficult. It's systemic. It happens all across public safety, perhaps more than other areas, but everybody now wants to telework at home, and you're competing against that. People want to get jobs where they can stay at home and work from the computer, and that's simply everybody wants to get, or many people wants to get into IT because that seems to be the place where money is, and that kind of, I want to be a police officer, a firefighter, or any other public safety job that was so important once. People are losing interest in that because it's dangerous, and at the same time, it doesn't pay a lot of money. It's like teaching, Teaching is a great job, but, many people said, well, I studied to be a teacher, but I cannot live on a teacher's job. So they want something else to raise their families on a better income. So this is a systemic, and we just have to come with a plan and strategies and, hit and miss. Try some things to see if they work, and if they don't, try some other things to see if they work. And that's about what we can do until we can hit the jackpot somehow, do something better than what we are. So that's my comment for tonight.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll skip over you and go to.
Everyone else has said everything more eloquently than I can, so I would simply say I concur and agree, and congratulations.
Chief?
Same as Tony, congratulations, and echo the same words and message that everyone else has. Great job.
Thank you. Well, Superintendent, certainly, I've been knowing your staff for a long time, and certainly congratulations, Susan. We worked together on a lot of projects together over the years. You got a wonderful staff. I would have the superintendent's evaluation ready, but normally what I do is walk around the facilities with the superintendent, and he knows I like to look people in the eye that work for him because they tell a story, and I haven't been able to do that in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully at the next meeting, I'll have an opportunity to walk around.
Wear two masks.
One of the things that I believe, and the superintendent knows, in this business, you can't stay in your office. You got to get out of your office and walk around to see what's going on, and not rely on the reports that you read every day. Correct, Superintendent?
That's correct.
That's right. Hopefully we'll have that done by our next meeting. If we have no other comments, I can ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can I get a second? Yes. Before we do, Ms. Pendak, do you have anything for us tonight?
No, sir, I do not. I just want to make sure Ms. Clymer had her hand up, and I want to make sure that she didn't have an issue.
All right, thank you. So do we do that?
I could have asked the superintendent on this side, but I'll just ask now. I'm sure this is something that is being done or has been done as far as recruiting, working with the community colleges that offer a criminal justice program, NOVA and others. That's okay.
Our HR department goes out to the community colleges and so forth, job fairs, and things of that nature. We'll try to increase that and do some other things.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, who made the motion to adjourn? All right, who the second?
Tracy.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
All right.
Thank you so much.
To record.
Stay safe.
No, not a record. Nowhere close to it.
Tony, how you doing tonight?
I know what you should talk about.
I see.